Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to the pilot episode of my new channel, Hunt for Music. With endless music always being made, more obscure albums from years past tend to fall to the wayside and never get to be heard by the amount of people they may deserve. On the flip side of that, though, there are definitely some awful albums out there that are buried on purpose that I believe also deserve to be revisited. That is where I come in to sort through the good, the bad, and all of the forgotten, and to hopefully show some people new bands and music that they enjoy. I am by no means a professional music reviewer, a musician of any kind. I am just someone who has a deep love for music and loves sharing music with others that I find. I do want to start this series off with a great album though. With currently under 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, I want to put the spotlight on a Danish psychedelic band named Young Flowers, and more specifically their album Blomsterpistolen, which means flower pistol. Formed in perhaps the most important year of music, 1967, Jens Dahl, Peter Ingman, and Ken Goodman created the band that summer. By the fall of 1967, their first single, Like Birds, was released, and Jens Dahl dropped out of the band. Pierre Frost then joined the trio. Their big break wasn't until 1968 when they were asked to provide the soundtrack for a television movie of the same name of the album. The album had a very prominent influence on Danish rock, which until that point was taken over by folk rock and pop groups. Onto the actual album. The cover art shows the three musicians being grown out of three different colored flowers with the same name of the band being spelled out in leaves below them. When I first saw this cover, it immediately drew me in, and there really isn't anything like it that I have seen. Psychedelic music album covers from this time period had some great artwork. Now, this album is 7 songs and 33 minutes of music. It's a very easy and very fast album to listen to. Half the album is taken up by an 8-minute song and a 9-minute song. The first track here, Overture Take Warning, takes just under 2 minutes to kick in with some great build up along the way. But once that groovy music hits, my attention is immediately captured. From the beginning, you can tell that there was a very heavy influence from the musical acts such as Cream and Jimi Hendrix. He seems to be singing in English and Danish for this one, but I cannot find any official lyrics online to help me actually confirm that. At the end of almost every track, a melodic piano is played, which can be jarring as you listen through, but to me it's a great way to connect the album together. The Moment Life Appeared is a shorter track with an almost Lou Reed-esque way of speak singing through the philosophical lyrics. 25 Or starts with an entrancing groove that is present for just over an 8-minute song. More Danish is sung in this song, so I sadly cannot tell what the lyrics are. The next track is Op I Trait. It starts with a very funky riff and goes into some more Danish singing. To me, lyrics are almost secondary when it comes to psychedelic music like this, though. The main thing is, does it sound good? I'm pretty sure that's probably what most of the bands from that time were thinking as well, as lyrics were probably not to be thought of as important as the actual music. And right at the 2 minute mark, you get an amazing sounding guitar solo that lasts over 30 seconds. After the piano at the end, To You starts with a much more mellow track and some English lyrics. Now, when it comes to lyrics, even when it is in English, I am very awful at being able to transcribe and fully understand the lyrics being said. In almost any song I listen to, I have to have the lyrics up on screen or be reading them as I listen to the song to actually learn what they are singing. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but that's just how I work. Going into Down Along the Cove, more English is present with very bluesy guitars accompanying the singing very beautifully. April of '68 is a prog psych masterpiece, in my opinion, to end the album on. Clocking in at just over 9 minutes with no lyrics, it is pure jam band bliss if that is something you are into. They fit a lot onto this bloated track and make it worth listening to and is a great closer. Unfortunately, if there was actually any lyrical themes to these songs, or if there's supposed to be any kind of concept album, it is lost in translation. And with the piano endings being the only things connecting the songs together, I can only assume that the songs are supposed to be kind of connected due to the part that it's a music soundtrack for a television movie. But having not seen the movie, nor having any way of being able to see the movie, I will not be able to ever know that probably. So, even with a language barrier, almost no information on lyrics, and very little information on the band, this album is a very big recommendation from me. If I were to have to give it a formal rating on the normal 1 to 10 scale with decimal points, of course, I would give it somewhere around 8.2 probably. I think this is very much worth the 33 minutes of your time that it takes to listen to this. If you listen to it and you enjoy it, please let me know. Hopefully, this puts more people onto this album and they can get their monthly listeners up over 1,000. If you have any suggestions of any obscure albums you want me to check out, that would be great. I do have a pretty long list, but I will always add to it. Any genre is appreciated, no language barriers. I will do my best to critique the music. Uh, if you're a big lyric guy and want me to critique lyrics, I can do that too. But obviously, not unless there is a translation, if it is not in English. But if it is in English, I will do my best. But I just have to be able to find a way to listen to the album. Now, this is my first ever video that I've made in my life. I got this idea trying to find new old music and wanted to share my journey with other people, as most of my friends do not like the kind of music I like. So being able to find these cool albums that aren't listened to by very many people and getting someone, perhaps even just one person, to find a new album or a new band that they like that they had never heard of previously. That's what I want to do this for. That's my love of music. I love sharing music. I love listening to new music. I don't care what it is. I don't care who it is. If it's new and I've never heard of them, that's great. So hopefully, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be trying to do one of these a week, maybe. If I can, I'll be able to probably get better at this as I go on. But other than that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much.